All right. Good evening, good afternoon, pending on where you're watching us from. Again, I go by the name of Sergeant Montgomery. Welcome to the podcast of Action Require Media. Happy Sunday to you on the podcast land and wherever you are. By the way, please, if you're watching by the way on Facebook, please please give me thumbs up if my sound is good. If you can hear us all right, please give me a thumbs up. Also, if you are on YouTube, by the way, we are on YouTube. Go on YouTube, type Action Require Media. Action Require Media. And subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. So whenever we are on, you'll be one of the first people to have our contents live. So please, if you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Again, we are here seated. We are doing an outdoor event. The weather is nice, so we thought to do a little, outdoor event for you all. Okay. We have. Let me introduce the guys by the way of the studio here. I have on my left. That's Brother Shama. Brother Shama. Another guy who's very knowledgeable about the happenings in Liberia. And also, I want to introduce to y'all Brother Joseph, our CEO. Brother Joseph, welcome to the podcast of Action Require Media.
Thank you.
So today we'll be talking on trending issues, mostly on the recent visit. We're talking about the recent visits by ECOWAS to Liberia. We want to talk about that. So let me use this time to also introduce one of our guests in the person of Dr. Achiba Wallo. Dr. Wallo, how are you, sir? Happy Sunday to you. How are you?
Thank you, Pastor Kumar.
Thank you. We
I
can hear
am
you.
doing great.
Pick
Happy
that up.
Sunday to you. You guys can hear me?
Pick that up. Yes, we can hear you, Dr. Wallo. Welcome.
Okay. Thank
So,
you.
guys, by the way,
Thank
on
you.
Facebook, please share the show. Please share the show.
Yeah, hold on 1 second.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend that we are on live. All right? Action Require Media Show. We'll be talking about
Okay.
trending issues in Liberia. Yeah, just give me a second. Give me a second here. Let me. Okay, that's good. So, guys, happy Sunday again, Dr. Waller. How's your day going so far?
My day is going great so
It's
far.
going good.
Beautiful weather out here. But it's a wonderful Sunday. Bless God for today.
Yeah, we thought
It's
to take
always
advantage of the
always
beauty.
always a blessing, when we are very fortunate to see another day.
Yeah, yeah. We will also try to take advantage of the weather. It's nice out here, so we decided to do an outdoor open door event. Yeah, and also we'll be having another guest joining us as well. That's in the person of Brother Lawrence. I don't know if he's logged on yet. I don't know if Brother Lawrence is logged on yet, but Brother Lawrence will soon be joining us and to be a part of this conversation. We are also expecting one or two other guests to join us here in the studio. But let me talk to you, Brother Titus. How are you? How's your Sunday?
Hey, everything is good. Glory be to God. I can't complain on nothing. I stay breathing, and our country stay moving
I
on.
mean, you can talk louder, man. Be audible.
Nah, you don't need to do that. Yeah.
You were just talking here.
I'm grateful. Y'all don't want me talk, oh.
Go ahead.
Y'all don't want me talk.
Yeah,
Most
that's
of your
all.
people they can't even hold my pressure. So I'm trying to keep it on a low profile, and you want me wake up?
That's all. You
Okay.
say I can wake him
Don't
up,
say
right?
I didn't want y'all.
Yeah, the man, yeah, I want to play yelling left and right. Now you can't get in from millions of people, then you.
Don't say
You
I
see,
didn't
that's
want
that,
y'all.
that that's the titles we know. That's the title we want to see.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, tell me, how's your Sunday going, brother?
No, but in spite of all jokes, yeah, it's good. It's good to be here, and this Sunday is great. It's a nice weather. I'm just looking forward to what we're gonna discuss. I want to thank you for the show and everybody gonna take part in the show. So today gonna be a great show. We're talking about our country. We're talking about how well our country can be in the league, not in the lead, but in the league,
All
because
right.
apparently we're not even in the league. So it's a good day.
All right. Thank you, Bertadas. Also, we just got two of our new, not new, but two of our studio guests just showed up. I mean your button.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know where you come from eating.
That's the style.
But yeah, so Dr. Wallo,
That is star. Nadio. Na de kontina mlana mlana.
my producer then trying to arrange something behind the scenes. So Dr. Wallo, can you hear me? All right. We will go ahead and start the topic. Go ahead and start the topic. Again, welcome, Brother Sam. Welcome, Brother Kevin. That's our VP.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Welcome, Brother Kevin. So, Brother Titus, let's talk. So, we'll be talking about ECOWAS' recent visit to Liberia. ECOWAS' recent visit to Liberia. And haven't been following the recent happenings in Liberia. ECOWAS visited Liberia twice, and somebody was asking me why did ECOWAS visit Liberia? Why? What was the mission? And we all know the recent happenings in the house, right? The recent happening in the house. So, and I was just chatting with a friend. I said, if we Liberians, if we cannot get our acts together, then we'll take visitors from the outside to come and help us put our house together. And pretty much that was one of the reasons why ECOWAS, decided to step in. But something was happening the first time for the first visit. The former president George Weah was highly disrespected. You understand? By the current administration, for which he thought to, reach out to to ECOWAS and let them know what was happening. That he being the former president cannot be disrespected after his regime, after willingly turning power over to you, new regime, to just come out and disrespect him. That was when he thought to reach out for the first visit. Now again, welcome, Dr. Wallo. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you loud and clear, Pastor Kramer.
Okay, thank you. And I will bring you on to chime in on this. So that was the first visit. They got to Liberia, met with the former president, and also met with a few members of the current, representatives, to figure out what was going on. They left again. They came back again, almost the same agenda to figure out what's going on in Liberia and to give the input. But Dr. Waller, let me bring you on here so you can expound on what I've started on. ECOWAS visited Liberia. In your opinion, what's the main plan, the goal here from ECOWAS? Talk to us, Dr. Waller.
Thank you, Pastor Kramer. And I think I quickly want to piggyback on what you were what you were actually saying. After our elections, and elections are really, really, tough and rough times in Africa. But
Hold
the
on.
way our elections went with the current with a sitting president, conceding to his, opponent before the official results were announced were actually incredible, right? People hailed President Weah, for doing that, and people thought that our democracy was getting mature. We are moving forward as a country. All Liberians were excited. Liberians in the diaspora, Liberians everywhere, very proud of, how our election turned out. And then also, before the elections, Liberians were really, really disappointed with the 54th legislature. So most of the legislators that went for re-election did not return back to the Capitol building because Liberians were really disappointed with their performance. So all Liberians are looking forward to Liberia now, moving in a direction that will, that will uplift the country, will present a good image to the world, and Liberia now will, will be termed as, a good example to so many African countries. And then, some part of last year, we saw that the House of Representatives, uh, so-called majority black, remove a speaker, and then, we have this issue that has been going on for almost 6 months now. And so, as you mentioned, ECOWAS went to Liberia to actually intervene in that situation the first time. It did not work, right? So this time, ECOWAS going back to Liberia was actually according to Front Page Africa and Spoon reports that ECOWAS going back to Liberia, ECOWAS returning back to Liberia was at the request of the majority bloc.
Okay.
Okay. The majority bloc requested ECOWAS now to come back to Liberia for them to, for the parties to sit down and then try to find common ground and resolve this issue. But gentlemen, it was surprising to know that when ECOWAS went to Liberia, they went to go meet with the majority leader, the majority bloc leader, Representative Kuhn. The majority bloc could not meet with ECOWAS the date that was set because, according to the report,
All right.
ECOWAS representative did not refer
Dr.
to.
Wolo, just try to wrap it up a little bit so I can bring the rest of the
Yeah, but
guests
we
on,
got
all
to
right?
get a background before we go to get into the conversation.
Yeah, go
Okay,
ahead.
I'm just giving the news, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not even started with my own opinion yet, right? I
Okay.
just I just trying to set up the
The premise.
conversation. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but I will make it quick. But because ECOWAS dedication did not refer to Rachel Kuhn, who is the leader of the majority black, as Speaker Kuhn, they refused to meet with the dedication. I mean, gentlemen, just think about that. Someone did not call you by a title that you did not earn. Because of that, you cancel a meeting that you, in the first place, that you requested. So, but then later on, I think ECOWAS met with them, and then ECOWAS met with the majority bloc, and so that's what happened. But as we speak now, there is still not a resolution yet. We are still in this problem. We are still facing this issue. The representatives that we voted for, they are putting their interests above the country's interest. So that's where we are now. Now, when I come back to speak, I will give my opinion on that. But that's why ECOWAS went back, because they want to intervene in this lower house impasse, and to make sure that those things were resolved.
All right. Thank you, Doc. That was a good premise that you did. So, let me go to you, bro. Titus. ECOWAS keep visiting your country. I know you're a man who's been checking on the news and recent happenings in our country. What's your opinion on?
Now, first of all, our democracy is under attack. You know, if you're looking at ECOWAS, this is a bloc on the West African sub-region, and Liberia is a founding member. They signed a treaty. Let's forget about all those things, right? In terms of Liberia war, right? Liberia is a U.S. colony, regardless of what people think, that it wasn't colonized or so. Liberia cannot do nothing without U.S. authorization, believe it or not. But during the war, America didn't even come to our aid. Who came to our aid? It was ECOWAS, ECOMOG. You and myself know how many foreign troops that die in our country so we can get the peace that we had, because right now Liberia don't have peace. Right now Liberia is shaking. anytime that country can get into any other thing, and, and the 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 ECOWAS, the head of the bloc, came to your country, right, telling you what they think the Constitution is. But then the majority black look at them and snub them. As a matter of fact, what's the kid name?
Which one?
And for the family,
Yeah, for the family. Yeah.
and what's the other one name?
But you
No,
call him a kid, him as a representative.
the man is a kid. If he's a representative, he won't sound so myopic. He talk about he went to LU and thing. That man don't even sound like he's educated.
Okay, let's go.
And
let's go to-
but let's forget about that. That can be another debate. I hear my second schedule, and we'll talk about it, so he can bring his brain to where he put it. And but if you hear that kid talking, and I don't even know how Liberian people put the Pele people, Bon County put that man to be a representative.
All right.
And but notwithstanding, the majority black. This is the second. This actually the third losing case that they have. Remember the first time they tried to withdraw the representative to the ECOWAS Parliament, right?
Yeah.
And they fell short. ECOWAS came again, talked to them, they fell short. Then the Supreme Court tried to give the law, they fall short.
Okay.
And now we're seeing the president calling the associate justice to talk to them. Our democracy is under threat, man. It's under attack.
All right. Thank
And,
you, Brother Titus.
so we just got to look at it and see it like that.
Let me go to Brother Kevin here, Brother Kevin, who is our current VP or Vice President of our local Liberian organization here. Brother Kevin, welcome to the podcast of Action Required Media. Again, please, if you're watching by the way of Facebook, please share and like our show. Share and like our show. Brother Kevin, Liberia, man, we seem not to be able to handle our own situation for which we have ECOWAS keep coming to our country. What's going on?
Well, first of all, I want to apologize for showing up late. Low traffic got me going, but nevertheless, I'm here. Um,
Welcome.
so with regard to the
Kevin is very
conversation-
low from my end here.
Yeah, you're low. Speak out your back.
Can you hear me?
Much better.
Okay. So what I was saying, as regard to the conversation, I would first like to disagree with my oldest brother Titus when he spoke about our democracy is on attack. Well, we have to look at that from a
Maybe a
standpoint
little
where,
other way, yeah? You keep going down.
we have to look at from a standpoint where we have a fragile, democracy. So if ECOWAS is coming in to help, we have to be happy, right? Because we don't want to go back to 15 years ago, what happened. But notwithstanding, I do not like the way the country is going, right? Whatsoever block that they call themselves majority, minority, whatsoever. I think they both need to just come to an agreement and just hash this out.
Okay.
Whoever is a legitimate speaker, we have to show respect to that, right? Because constitutionally, Mr. Fonati Kofa was elected constitutionally based on the numbers, right? And now you just cannot just, evolve from someone and say, hey, due to X, Y, Z, and third, we thereby, release you from your speakership, knowing the fact that it has to be done the proper way.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? And also, I'm going to even go deeper, right? I think the president has a major role to play. I'm not pointing the finger at him, but as a leader, you have to lead. And as we speak, we don't have a leader, right?
Okay.
We don't have a leader in Liberia. All we have a president. Of course, we have a president, but we don't have a leader. Because if we do have a leader, his leadership was going to reflect in what is happening. He was going to step in, try to find some sort of peace and try to bring those faction group together and find, one agreement.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother Kevin. Thank you. Again, once again, thank you for staying tuned. But look, let me chime in here, and then I'll pass back to Dr. Wallo. Look, man, Liberia is the oldest West African, if not the
No, the oldest African, not West African.
African state. For us not to be able to handle our business right, Dr. Wallo, and still be depending on our little brothers to come in, it speak to our limitations, right? In terms of controlling our affairs. Look, man, Liberia,
Yeah.
the first time 20 years ago or plus, right? We had a major civil war for which the same ECOWAS, where we had ECOWAS, ECOMOG, everybody came in the country. You understand? The guys died in the numbers. You understand? And so Dr. Wallo, to because like I was saying, somebody kept asking, my man, why y'all keep having ECOWAS come in your country? And I kept telling them, look, maybe there's something these guys are saying that maybe our people are not saying. But I want to forewarn Liberians that if they think that the first time where ECOWAS will run to our country in the case where we couldn't handle our affairs and they went there and died in the numbers, I don't think these guys are willing to do that again. So if they see if they foresee some kind of problem coming, maybe they're trying to stop that, because I'm not sure they'll be in that position to also be running to our country to go send their innocent children, men and women to die. But Dr. Wallo, you come in, man. You speak onto that issue. What's going on, Dr. Wallo?
Look, I think Kevin had a point there, but let me just say this. Um, the problem we see in the lower house is just a reflection of the problem we have in our society.
Yeah.
And you know, um, what the Scaddington system is to the body is what the rule of law is to a country. Without the Scaddington system, this body cannot stand. Without the rule of law in the country cannot stand. The country cannot go forward. There will be total chaos. The 14 years civil war we had in our country was a result of the breakdown of the rule of law. You don't even have to guess whether a government administration going to be successful. Just look at how they treat the issue of the rule of law. Any administration that violates the laws that keep the country going, they're going to fail. You don't even have to wish that. Okay? Because a country without the rule of law will disintegrate into chaos. And that's exactly what we are seeing. So ECOWAS going to Liberia, it's a signal that we have a major problem. Gentlemen, let's look at it this way. Earlier on, I said that after the elections, new lawmakers were elected. We thought that Liberia now will go forward with the election of President Wakai. So okay, you know what? Joshua did not do X, Y, Z. Did it stand out for us to move forward with this so-called rescue mission? Right, we're going to move forward. But what are we seeing? Exactly the same things we've been complaining about. You see, every time you see things seems to change, the more we have problems. That speak to the problem we have in our country. Listen, our entire country, generations to generation, most especially our generation now, we are the worst generation in Liberia. And until we can inform ourselves about the issues that we have, right, we are not going to do any better. Okay. Tadas pointed out that ECOMOG were the one that came on Liberian soil. Nigerians, Ghanaians, Sierra Leoneans, Ivorians, every part of Africa, people came to on our show when the United Nations have not sent troops. Those are the people that were dying for us. And the same ECOWAS sent a dedication to Liberia, and our legislators are disrespecting them. If something were to happen in Liberia, it would be the same African people that will come there. It will be the same ECOWAS that will come there to stand with us. And they come there to talk to us about our own inability to govern ourselves. And our national leaders, our representatives are disrespecting them because someone will call you by a title. That is disappointing. Okay, and I think it speaks to a bigger problem than what we are saying.
Thank you, Dr. Wallo. Thank you. So, Brother Titus, ECOWAS came to our country the first time, the second time, but the first time they were disrespected, and the second time again, I think there was some level of disrespect that was shown to them. Why can't we? Why it seems like we are not able to handle our affairs, right? We have a legit government now, but it seems that we cannot handle our affairs. George, we are turned over power after 6 years peacefully, right? But it seems like this new regime, there's always some kind of thing going on. What if you were to advise the current House of Reps right now to put their affairs in order, what would you say? What would you tell them?
No, no. Look, first of all, let's go beyond the physical. Joe Walker didn't win the presidency. It was hand over to him. So that was a load. Up to now, the UP still contemplating if they actually won this election or they just took it by force. I will go back to the election, right?
They won, my man.
UP, during the election, they were doing a whole lot of things, whole lot of violent campaign. They were attacking from this person to that person, right? Okay. Majority of the Liberians don't want to go back to what we was in the 90s. And so the former president, just look at it. It's never happened. Yeah, Donald Trump, he president right now, but he's still complaining about the last election he had that they rigged it from him. And but this was a presidency they gave to the man. Okay, y'all say I'm not that. You lie your way to go to the presidency. But what going on, you can lie your way to govern. And see, the people have no agenda, no plan. Liberia is bleeding. Students going to complain about teachers not coming. Then after the executive brutalized those kids, 2 days after president announcing $1.2 million purchase of vehicle.
We'll get it.
Are you kidding me?
We'll get it. Don't rush into my topic.
No, I'm not rushing.
No, but we'll get
but
it.
let's look at it. So,
point where?
so you looking at it that the people got no clue. They got no idea of governing. And and I'm waiting. I know I got oppositions, but I challenge you. Show me one tangible things. This is 15 months. And that the UP government been in power. But all they brought is chaos. Everything that Joe Walker hand on or any of the cabinet hand on, that's corruption and chaos. Everything. There is nothing that they are instituted that say, oh yeah, we execute this, and it was perfect and well maintained. Show me one.
Thank you, Brother Titus. So you're very passionate on this issue. But Dr. Wallo, so if one were asked, right, with the recent Hall and Pool, now the Supreme Court has intervened. The first the first initial hearing was last week, for which sometime this week we are waiting on the final overall ruling, right? Dr. Wallo, what if I'm not saying you will know what's going to be the final ruling, but what's the way forward now? ECOWAS has come and gone. Again, we are left to solve our own issues for which the Supreme Court has intervened the first time. They said something ultra vira, Again, wherever that man, the layman, stay asking your question, but this time around, it seems like they are trying to come in and give a more clearer ruling as to what's happening. So, what's the way forward with you, Doctor Wallo? By the way, our studio titles, we are hearing you clear, please. Sorry, guys. Dr. Wallo, please, if you can take it from
Yeah.
there.
The way forward, Pastor Kroman, is to respect the rule of law. The rule of law has to be respected. The Supreme Court going to clarify their ruling. Whether the majority bloc will respect it.
Right.
If you follow the debate at the Supreme Court,
Well,
I mean, it does not take rocket rocket science for you to figure out how they're going to rule. In fact, during the debate, the Chief Justice asked for additional security for all
security, yeah.
members of the Supreme Court, right? I mean, and from the debate, you could clearly understand, where the Supreme Court mind is. Their ruling was very clear. We Liberians just decided to politicize the ruling of the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court can never contradict itself. They're going to reaffirm what they ruled in the first place, that everything the so-called majority bloc did, it's illegal. They don't have a speaker. They might have uh, they might have the majority, but they don't have a quorum, meaning they have the number, but they don't have a speaker to preside over that body. Okay, so a quorum, you need a number and you need a speaker. And because they don't have that, so everything else they have done so far up to today's date, it's illegal. And the Supreme Court going to reaffirm that. But whether they're going to accept that, that would be the challenge, right? That would be the challenge. And I'm hoping, that they're going to accept it, call it a loss, apologize to Liberians,
Yeah, move on.
get back on the gavel of Speaker Kofa, and then find a number, go through the procedure, get the number that is required, and then ask him to recuse himself, and then go through the process. And if Speaker Kofa is removed, he will step down. He is committed to that. Okay, he has said that repeatedly, that he is committed to then following the procedure. When the procedure is followed and they get the number, he going to leave. And to be honest with you, Pastor Kuma, I don't even think Speaker Kofa want to continue to be a speaker,
Yeah, I don't think
but
so.
he just wants the process to be followed. And I don't think that is too much to ask, because I hear a lot of Liberians saying, "Oh, you have lost legitimacy from your colleagues. Why can't you resign? Why can't you tell the people to follow the laws? Why can we all ask the majority bloc to follow the laws? Why can't we follow our country laws? Why can't we follow what is laid down in the Constitution and in their rules? Why can't they follow that? You are asking someone who is following the law, to resign because it's easier for us. That is the most easier way to deal with the issue.
Okay.
It's
Thank you.
we I mean, we are it's just very unfortunate, Pastor Kumar.
Thank
To
you.
be
Thank you.
honest with you,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, and let me say this. Okay, the last election I ran, okay, I ran with the anticipation that this legislature was going to be different from the last one. And I think a lot of Liberians had that anticipation that we needed a better legislature. So let's get better legislators. But it's worse. It's worse. Never in the history of Liberia that we had our capital building burned. Even during the war, during the Civil War, we didn't have that. But because of this impasse, we burned down our Capitol building,
Yeah.
an historic building that a lot of people cherish. We burn it down. Why? Not because of the interest of Liberians, not because of the interest of Liberia, but because of the interest of just individual. Pastor Kruma, these people are making money out of what is happening. You think they're going to let it go? They're making millions of dollars. They are making a lot of money. So they will not just let it go like that.
Thank
Liberians
you.
need to stand up. The Supreme Court going to reaffirm its decision. They will not accept it.
All
You
right.
will hear them saying this is a political process. It's not a legal process. We can listen to the Supreme Court. This is a separate branch of government. That's what they're going to say.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Wallo. Let me go to CEO. Let me go to Joe. Joe,
Yep.
you've been following the topic. At the same time, I see you managing affairs behind the scene here. Talk to us on this recent happening. ECOWAS coming to Liberia. We can't handle our own home affair, for which we keep inviting
I
ECOWAS coming in.
think
Go ahead.
this is a big disgrace to our nation. We are one of the oldest nation in Africa, to be precise. We have not yet learned from our civil crisis in Liberia, and now yet people are still putting themselves above nation, and I just think is stupidity, and I would call it nonsensical in a way, because this is a trend. It's been trending. Now, if you look at the whole leadership of the Republic of Liberia, our grandparents are the ones that are running the country, while the young people, able-bodied men, are the ones that um, starving. You know what I'm saying? So these guys are not in the interest of the nation. They're only in the interest of their pocket and self greed, family, and then just flashy lifestyle. What I would say here is ECOWAS has done her part. They play a major role during our civil war, and then now yet we have a stable government in the past, and yet still we cannot handle our own problems. This is becoming unbecoming, and I think now it's time now that the Liberians think things differently, in a sense that we're going to be your representatives, we're going to be your senators, we're going to be your president. I think I heard my there was a post that Joseph Barker said something about wheelbarrow drive going to the executive mansion.
That's my next point.
I know, but I'm just saying, if you saying something like that and you appeal to the people and the people put you in power, there should be a way that you will come back and revamp the nation. It just I don't understand. When it comes to Liberia issue, I'm so passionate about it, and
Thank you.
every one of us here we are. So I think the direction in which the country is going the wrong way, and then Liberians now we have to take drastic action.
Thank you.
Getting our nation back. 100 and some more years old. That's
Yeah.
that's crazy
Almost
compared to Ghana,
178 or 70.
and you see how Ghana is moving on. I just think, and again, I won't say education is our problem in Liberia. Maybe that could be another topic for another
Okay.
time. But again, it's just stupidity. Why should we burn our own building? Why should we? And that money we take to renovate the building, that money would have gone to education. It would have gone to healthcare sector. It could have gone to some youth development. But look, nobody's gonna be here. Nobody's gonna be here responsible for that. They're gonna
Alright.
work free. This is time Liberians now need to step up and do the best they can to
Thank
move
you,
Liberia forward.
CEO. Thank you, CEO. You just run me right into my next topic here, which is wasteful spending. Right? Obviously, you don't have your house in order, huh? And you're spending wastefully. Now somebody can correct me here. We all know about the trending, the trending wasteful spending that just happened. And I don't know if that car has been purchased already, but
And don't forget to They've been
yeah,
driving it right now.
I'm gonna come in,
Riding
brother
it.
Kevin.
Yeah.
And I want the producer to display all of us on the screen so you can see, not just me but all of us. So yeah, there you go. So but Kevin,
Mm.
your people are hungry. You campaign on rescue. You know what rescue means?
Mm.
It's to take my musucha from the streets that's selling. That's rescue for me.
Yeah,
Now I
but
don't know when was the last time you went to Liberia. I was just in Liberia last year, as recent as a couple of months ago. The major street hawkers are young kids below the age of 7. I mean, in between cars. I want to believe if George Weah didn't do anything about it, and Joseph Walker coming in saying that no, there must be a rescue attempt, for which he decided to come in, right? And I remember vividly President Walker now saying that again, this is no knock on. I'm not a partisan. I'm not representing no party here. I'm just speaking to what I see as a common citizen, right? You saw the need for which you thought the country needed to be rescued, right? And if you are coming and even spending times two, then the guy you are succeeding, then what happens to you? What's happening to your message, brother Kevin? I want you to speak to that
Thank you very
because
much.
I realize that the president is about to spend. I don't know if he's already spent it, but there's a budget within the national budget for just cars, right? And we are looking at, I don't know, 2 million at 1 point somewhere or 200,000.
illegitimately.
I'm not sure on the specific figure, but if you're going to spend almost 200,000 on a car, bro, Kevin, I speak to that. Speak to that for me because I'm confused.
Thank you again, brother Jesse. First and foremost, in my opinion,
Yeah.
I think the government needs to be rescued.
From themselves, right?
themselves, yeah.
I like that.
because because how can you
Claim to be a rescuer. And then-
how can you run on the premise that hey we here to rescue Mother Liberia,
yeah.
but then you rescuing your own pocket, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all you think about is self-interest,
Yeah.
And sorry to say, ladies and gentlemen, but I hold Date's opinion that President Joseph Walker, he's not the one running the country.
I want to think so too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the person that people spoke about, it's not who we saying. His action is not reflecting
Yeah.
his true character. For example, if you wearing a $920 shoes,
Mm.
From a Gamo, an Italian brand, right? And we all know that. And then you driving a Lexus.
President got look good now.
I understand.
Minute, man, Uber.
Looking good, and then at the expense of your people suffering. The late Jerry John Rawlins, right? When he came to power in 1979, right? He said, "I'm going to clean everywhere."
Yeah.
He killed everyone, right? Whoever that was being hindrance to his agenda, he got rid of them, right? I think
what got you start doing?
I think that's what Liberia needs.
Oh.
Well, I have a radical mindset. You know what I'm saying? And we got to be very honest with this. Liberia needs a radical president who will who will ready to go beyond, far beyond, and try to clean everything for us to start at first. If I am given a minute, trust and believe me. I don't care who feels or whatsoever. Most of the guys over there, they will be gone. Majority of them will be gone.
Kevin, we can be radical at the same time follow the rule of law.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
in
Well,
this
it don't
case-
work. It don't
in
work.
this case, it's not going to
It don't
work
work
for
that
Mother
the water-
Liberia. Mother
America
Liberia is
works.
Very radical.
But America has a system that works. Okay,
we don't have a
so
system.
Liberia, we don't
But
have
you
a
can't- you
system.
can't
People
go
are
and be killing-
using.
You can't go
I'm
around
not.
be killing poor, my
Well,
man.
no, that's not what we're
That's
saying. That's not what we're saying.
That is my opinion.
but-
That's
I agree. I
That's
agree,
exactly
but-
what I would do, given a minute. Because we are tired of the same
Look,
the same old thing
Kevin.
every year.
I
you
think
know,
I think Kevin meant
know,
literally not
killing
No,
physically,
I'm no. What I'm saying is, my
Get rid of
opinion is that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, get rid of that.
That's what I'm gonna do.
you don't
know
put
what
them
I'm
in jail or fire them.
saying? Yeah, because that's what Liberia needs.
Oh, okay,
Because
that's why you mean get rid of
if
them.
you-
Okay, get them out of office.
If you set an example, trust and believe me,
people will start to like follow the rules.
Let me
You
hear
know,
from
in the country.
Brother Titus, Brother Titus. The government, I don't know what's happening. Who needs to be rescued? Like Brother Kevin said, right? You campaign on the mantra of bringing change. Somebody's on the mattress. On the mattress of bringing change, right? But here you are. You come in, you spending times three, and after that, Dr. Waller will chime in.
Man, the chief of staff over there is spending money anyhow,
But
making
that is-
decisions anyhow,
Yeah.
doing things, whatever he thinks, whatever he feels. Is that a country?
Yeah.
Do we have a leader? We don't have a leader, and that's what I keep saying. We do not have a leader. President Joseph Boakai, he's not a leader.
We have a representative
sorry,
from,
man.
from
You know,
from
you know,
the-
you know.
the-
I
let
mean,
Brother
I mean, the
Titus
court.
come to you.
I
come
mean,
to
the
you.
court titles off, right?
Yeah.
You know, kind of system need to be like, bro.
Uh,
I mean, you forget the democratic form of system, justice form of system where you bring lawyers and sit and open books
It
and
don't
tell
work.
you, Peter, this go to bring this as a woo. Bring those guys from
From
The
the
shrine,
right?
the shrine.
bring them up and then bring up. Bring
Let
bring,
them swear.
bring a minister right there and say, look, minister, if you think you didn't steal the country money
Swear.
at this time, take
If
this.
the
Yeah,
broom
we
catch
have-
you, then you good.
I'm
We
just
have
saying,
a
you know what I'm
current-
saying?
we have a
But-
current president from Burkina Faso, right?
I
I'm
can't believe
meditating-
I
I'm
can't believe
meditating-
Joe is recommending something like that.
Let me hear from Brother Titus. Whenever he's quiet
that
like this,
bastard?
then I begin to I begin to wonder. Brother Titus.
It
Okay.
works though.
Yeah, let's hear Brother Titus quick.
First of all, this man is 89 years old. You're
89.
Don't get it twisted. Joe Barker was 84 years old,
mean
early
74?
fourth time. That 12 years he was there, so he's still 80 in his 80s.
No, he's not. He's 70s.
What you call 70s?
78.
Oh come on, man, you lead that thing.
He's 78 years old.
Let Joe Barker bring his birth certificate.
But let's take it for what he says now. He's 78 years old.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. And brother Kevin talk about old Jerry Rollins. First of all, look at the age gap. Jerry Rollins was looking at the future because he was a young man. Joseph Barker is already near the grave. The man that passed by his future. Look at it. We using AI, somebody that don't even know how to use typewriter. Tell me, how can he communicate with a newer generation? Now we're not even the millennial. How they call you? Gen Z?
Z.
Then what after you?
Millennials.
No,
No, not yet.
we the crossovers. You know, Gen Z.
Yeah,
Then
yeah, that's what it is.
how
yeah.
will he communicate with them? Will he be telling them no
Man,
business
you- man,
as
don't know what the
usual
power button is on your phone.
in the next 100 days? No car will be hitched in the mud. No child will be selling market, but everything it even double. Are you kidding me?
Thank you.
But
No. I feel you.
yeah, but,
Yeah,
but
you want me now? I won't go to Dr. Walla. I want to hear
Eh?
Dr. Walla. I can't do you, Joe. Please.
okay.
Look, man, let's be realistic here. Liberia cannot find a funding except the country go into a dictatorship, suspend the constitution, and then do it the way you want to do it. If I should take over Liberia right now, all the lawmakers will stay there. The constitution is suspended. I'll tell you how you want the country to be run. Anything that contrary to what I believe the country should be in, I will buy you.
To the dictatorship, eh?
Yeah, that all the country need.
Dr. Walla, in 2 minutes here, I want you to speak on this whole spending, wasteful spending, President Biden spending extravagantly and and other-
Just before Pastor Dr. Wado come in, you all remember the complaint about job we are riding private jet. In the past 15 months, compared to the 6 years, Joe Barker have ruled more private jet than Joe we are 6 years.
right. Dr.
You
Walla,
all take that into consideration.
okay.
Look, Kevin, I feel you. I totally, understand what where you're coming from when you say what you said. And I think a lot of people feel that way. By the way,
To kill the people, Dr. Walla?
no. Well, I'm saying I'm not saying that I agree with him.
Yeah.
I'm saying
see where he's coming from.
I understand where he's coming from.
Got you.
Okay, because it's frustrating. Okay, uh, just just 7 years ago, okay, we were talking about President Weah's administration. Okay, how President Weah was not doing X, Y, Z. Before President Weah, we said exactly the same thing about President Salih. Okay, before President Salih, we said exactly the same thing about President Taylor. Before President Taylor, we said the same thing about President Doe. Okay, so every time we have a new administration comes to power, we experience exactly the same thing we have always talked about. You don't think it's a societal problem? You think it's just governance issue? You don't think it has to do with with our way of thinking about governance? You don't think it has to do with the breakdown of our culture? You don't think it has to do with the destruction of the family unit in Liberia from the war? You don't think these things have roots in what we experience in our country? If we don't address these fundamental issues, okay, we might change a president, we might change an administration, we will still have the same results. I think that it's time that we take another approach. That is an approach that will allow Liberians to change their minds. Okay, to change, we have to change the way we think about our country. We have to change the way we see ourselves. Okay, since the war, we have not, intentionally deal with the issues that were confronted in the war. You look at the entire society, the Liberian society. Okay, everybody is traumatized. That is a traumatized society you see right there. We have not been able to deal with the trauma we have experienced in our country. And then we expect to do better. We can move forward if we cannot deal with the internal struggles we are having in our country. We will change presidents here, we will change presidents over and over and over, but we get exactly the
But
same
but
result.
Dr. Water though,
Because because
the,
one second, because the issues that we're supposed to deal with, we have not dealt with them.
so but I got a question for you. You just mentioned internal struggles. What are some that you can identify that you think Liberians need to work on to be able to move forward? Because if we don't know that, we can move forward.
You got one going on in the government right now.
Yeah, but
I
bro
agree.
Joe,
Yeah.
yeah, bro Joe, I just said I just uh, talk about trauma. I'm talking about what we feel about ourselves as
Okay.
Liberians. Okay,
So
I mean we have 14 years of civil crisis.
yes.
There are, look, the generation you see today, most of the children, most of the people now that are taking a governmental position or that are of voting age, most of them were born in a war. They didn't see the best of Liberia. They saw Liberia at its worst. That is the picture. That is the mental picture
So
they know.
no, but Pastor Water,
So
let me.
what I'm saying is our approach to these things have to be intentional.
Okay.
Until we deal with these issues that we were confronted with
So
in the war, we will
Pastor Water,
always resort into violence. Now, see what's happening in the house. You think what is happening in the house is a national interest? No. I mean, how can a country see stealing as a lifestyle?
Pastor
Joe,
Water.
when we were growing up, our parents beat us when we stole
Yeah. Sure.
anything. That is a breakdown of a society. And when
Now they
society
can
breaks down,
glorify
the
them.
family
But
is broken down.
Pastor Water though, let me just say something because the statement you made about those young guys, that were born during the Civil War. Now these guys are more sophisticated now than those older generation. They have the cell phone, they can use the internet, so they have access to see what other nations are doing. So I'm not going to give them a free pass on that. You know, they have a responsibility and a duty as citizens also. But this is what I would say: the wasteful spending is too much. Our I know maybe George when George Weah left, I don't think George Weah took the presidential convoy with him, the presidential cars. I
He
think
did
he was
not.
left.
He did
So
not.
I think
No, he did not. He
that's what
did
I'm saying.
not.
I said I
Don't
don't think
say
he
it.
took it. What I'm
No, he
I
did
did not
not.
say he took it. I did not say he took it. I said I don't. I said I think he didn't take it. But if he left those cars were still useful.
Not because
Why take money? Why take extra money, and spend it on cars? Those things don't have values.
Okay.
Now I come in. Look at your university system. Look at our university messed
man,
up. The
education
buildings,
is not
no
priority in
chairs.
Liberia, man.
You
You
have
forget about
students throwing
education.
armchairs and desks coming to class. No air condition, nothing. The teachers are not being paid, and the class is over packed. I just think this thing need to come to an end, and the only way it's going to come to an end, those young guys, those voters, we have one of the youngest population in the world, very young, racial population. All we need to do, they got the gadget, okay? Use a gadget, understand what it means to be a representative, what it means to be a mayor, what it means to be a senator. Now, if you know the responsibility of these positions, you are able to question your leadership. But if you don't know these things, you're just gonna let people rat on you. Now, let's be honest. There's some Liberians, young guys, young people in Liberia who are so dying hard that they want the country to succeed. But with what's going on right now, I mean, we need a drastic action. We need something to happen. We can't. Are you going to tell me we can't learn from the past?
Brother Joseph,
14 years of
Roger.
civil war. I mean, we need
Roger.
something to happen, man. Something need to happen.
So can I pitch
just
in
give me
real
30
quickly,
seconds,
please?
Pastor Waller, and I
Okay.
just need 30 seconds. Well, I listened to your monologue, right? But again, we got to be very, very honest. The population in Liberia, 90% of our population are highly illiterate. Let's keep it. They just underscore that, right? The education system
No,
in Liberia.
I disagree with that.
Well, I mean, that's fine.
No,
That's
Kevin is right.
You know,
Why you
no,
disagreeing?
I
Kevin is right.
disagree with
I
that,
understand,
man. I disagree with
and
that.
that's exactly why we are here to have a conversation.
Yeah.
But then again, that will not change what I'm saying. That's a fact, right? It is a fact, right?
Sure it is.
How many universities that has been accredited in Liberia? How many of those do we have?
Only one.
Okay. And now, if I say 90% of our population are highly illiterate, number one, most of the population is concentrated in the rural areas, right? When you go to the rural areas, how many schools do we have? What are the conditions of those schools? How many teachers do we have that can raise the education standard in those rural areas? Do we have a university or polytechnic, a community college, something that all a vocational institution that can help those kids in the rural area? We don't have those.
We have those things, but the facility are there, but we don't. I understand you, Kelvin, in a sense that it's there, but it's not there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like the University of Liberia. Look at your LU campus. The learning condition is bad. You look at the buildings, and you're talking about it's a country university. Look at elementary schools in this country. Look at elementary schools in the world. See the compare it to our university. And you spending X amount of money on just vehicles for a president to ride? Come on now.
Not
So let me-
only the
let
president.
me-
Amara Kone.
Let me
Amara Kone spent 17 million in the last 2 weeks. They said, they were advocating they had to go to courts and do all those things. 17 million.
Not
Come
to
on now.
cut you off. You can determine, right? You can determine the president's priority when you look at his budget, right? Liberia will always talk about agriculture, education, but how much of agriculture is in our budget? How much of education, healthcare? And that's the next thing I want us to talk about, because last week brother Kevin struck a very good point as to why now we are transitioning, right? The wasteful spending is going to be there, but this is another massive wasteful spending, right?
But Dr. Kumar, before you gave the last word, can I say this?
Go ahead. Go ahead. 30 seconds, please.
Okay. You see, you guys are talking about wasteful spending as if wasteful spending is the problem. With wasteful spending is a symptom of a problem. Okay. I challenge us today. Let President Bouakar's administration come to an end. Let elect a new administration.
It will not
We
change.
still have the same problem. In fact, it could even be worse. What that means is we are not addressing the root cause of what is going on in Liberia. Gentlemen,
Yep.
our problem is not political.
The
Our
system.
problem is not our problem. In fact, look, even with the system, it's people that work the system. The fabric of our society is broken. Go in the homes, go in churches, go to ministries, go everywhere. Every fabric of our society is broken. We tried, we just try to manage as we go along, and the more we go, the worse outcome we get. Look, right now, most of the people that are in government today, all of them belong to churches. They belong to churches, they belong to mosques. But the reality have not even changed. The lack of quality education, the lack of healthcare, delivery, the lack of infrastructure development, all of these things, they are all symptoms of just one major problem. Our society is broken. And we have to go back to the basis of that. If we cannot build from the bottom up, and we think that changing a president going to solve this issue, is not going to do
Okay.
it.
So let me ask you one question though, right?
One,
So
one second, Roger,
what would be the
before you
basic?
ask. 1 second before you ask. Let me
Okay.
say this. 2017, 2017, I sat with President Bouakar when he was vice president. I sat with President Bouakar. I look, when you sit down with Pape and you hear him talk, you will never believe what is happening today. You will never believe what he is delivering today. You will never believe that. We might get a good president. We have three branches of government. Today, the first topic we talked about was the House of Representatives. See what they are doing. Young men in our ages, young prudent men that have families, that come from respected homes. See what we are having. See the output. Change the legislators today. Bring a new breed of legislator. Bring a new breed of Liberians. We will get exactly the same thing. Why? Because we are not addressing the fundamental problem of our country. We
But
need to change minds.
Pastor Waller,
We need to address the issues from the bottom,
Pastor
not
Waller,
from the top, from the bottom.
Pastor Waller,
Until we do that,
I don't want to
we'll
cut you
continue
off,
to
right?
get the result we are
What
getting.
you keep saying the fundamental issues. Can you give us your fundamental issues that you have identified with the Liberian problems right now, so at least we can start
I don't think he's
understanding
hearing you. I don't
it
think
from
he's
now?
hearing you.
Huh?
No, I'm hearing him. I'm hearing him.
You hear me, Pastor Water? Yeah, because I was just
I'm hearing
saying that
you.
you kept mentioning that we need to go back to the fundamental issues. What are some of the fundamental issues that you have identified with Liberian problems? So if you have that, let us know, share with us. As we all here, we can share ours too, and then maybe the viewers can see it as something very important, and then
Yeah.
it can be shared around.
But anyway, let's. I think we've exhausted this topic.
Yeah,
Let's
but can I
again.
can I just share one thing? To just respond to what Brother Joe is saying.
Go ahead.
Just
30 seconds,
I'll
please.
just share just one. Okay, okay. Brother Joe,
Yes.
well, you know, disregarding the order of things. Look, we have a psychological problem. Okay, we have a psychological problem that we really really need to tackle. Okay, But the first thing I would recommend is we need to reconcile the country. The country is divided. Okay.
Thank God the
People don't
UP
feel.
worker government.
People.
It's not.
No, I'm not even talking about on political lines,
Yeah,
brother Tatas.
the entire country
You
is
know,
peace.
going beyond political.
Everybody need to come sit down
Going
and
beyond
cry.
political. Let me tell you something.
Forgive me.
There are people in Liberia.
Go
When, when,
home.
when, when you hear a president spending
Yeah.
millions of dollars on car, and then you weigh it in Bokondre, or you weigh in Chester City, or you weigh in Lopa or somewhere, you feel disconnect. You feel angry that you are in a country that does not provide opportunity for you, even though
Oh,
you are trying harder,
Depois vai
right,
informação, man.
to get by, but you just can't see people become
let's move.
that.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
But
So
how
we
can we
need to
move
we,
on?
we
We
need
haven't
to
heard the
reconcile. We
solution
need to
yet, though.
reconcile. We need to
We ain't
reconcile the
getting the solution
country.
yet
Well,
today.
this,
I mean, at least we
the
can share
solution
solution.
is reconciliation, right? As I said, I think everybody we just need to go to ATS, bring a lapa, oh my bring a lapa, we saying, yeah, cry on each other, say, oh, I forgive you, or please forgive me,
All
and
right.
they just move on,
All right.
like because there are a lot of blood that there has been a lot of bloodshed
You
in
know.
that nation,
You know
and
what?
even to this day, people are still killing people,
You know.
you know. So I don't know.
Why? Why? Why?
Maybe
Why?
Jesus Christ got to come down and just pull hands on us because
Why
I
I
don't know.
agree with all of what we are saying as far as giving suggestions, talking about wasteful spendings, and everything that's happening in Liberia. We are the same people going back and re-electing the same guys over and over and over and again. If you ask me, I think voter education need to go. In one of my platform back a couple of years ago, that's what I was doing, right? I was championing the cause of voter education needs to be done in Liberia. I'm talking in the rural area. But let's again in the same wasteful spending. Why are elected officials? Why do they refuse to use our local hospitals? That's where the crumbs of this conversation tonight I want it to be. This guy will use the local hospital, but as soon as he's elected into public office, he stopped using our public office. And I want you to come in on Kevin on that. At least 1 minute. I'll come
Yeah.
to Titus and Brother Joe. Why? We elected you. You are
Oh.
using Sony Work Clinic, but as soon as you get into office now, it becomes a problem to you. What's going on?
If I should be blunt, right?
Be. I want
Everything
you
we
to be.
do is stand up living, right? So back then, when they were never represented,
Yeah.
the stand up living was below,
Yeah.
right? And now,
You know
like
that means.
they have taken power or got it into office. You think they're gonna go to JFK for treatment, knowing the fact that we don't have the best quality of doctors, medical equipment? They know. They know. That's the reason why they always flying overseas for medical checkup or treatment. Now, it is the best solution? Absolutely not. Right? Again, if we had a system where all our leaders, representatives, on some sort of like guidance or stipulation that hey, you are banned from traveling overseas, from going to checkup or medical, whatever you got to do. You're going to use the local clinics or the local hospital. I can guarantee you, those guys will put in the work to make this hospital better, and they will bring the bright and the brightest doctors into Liberia for them to work hard.
I agree. Brother Titus, you are using Sony Work Clinic. As soon as the people elected you, you start flying to India.
My
What's
man,
going on?
the thing is being dishonest to your country, right? You was using Sonny Wen Clinic before you been elected official. You didn't die. You was killed. You was treated, and you was okay, right? Now it will come back to this, and I'll always say this: the Constitution needs to be changed or rewritten, right? It's because of this 1986 or 85 Constitution that Amos Sawyer then wrote. This is why giving the lawmakers then the leverage to do what it's supposed to do. What country in the world that every 2 years they have to change the legislature, the lawmakers' cars? So the ones
years.
that they changing where they want to go in,
Every
Different.
3 years.
right? Okay, the GSA is supposed to inspect those cars and make sure that it's not usable.
But why
Bro.
are we even paying those laws maker or giving a car? Your salary shoot.
Buy
No,
your
no,
own
no,
car.
no, 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 no,
It-
no.
come
The
on,
lawmaker,
Tyler.
the entitled,
No,
is supposed to
no,
be.
You're not
No,
entitled,
no.
it's a
You're not
government car.
entitled.
You have your own
You're
private
not
car.
entitled. You need to
Look.
go and purchase your own
No,
vehicle.
no, 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 no.
It's in the
Come on
budget
now.
for them, though.
Come on
But
now.
what I'm saying, that's wrong.
Uh-uh.
That's wrong. You
They-
working? Right,
no.
You been working?
No.
I-
United States, right?
I agree with Kevin.
No.
Do the
Government
employers-
cars
do
are
the
only used for
employers, like,
government
give you a
time.
vehicle?
It's never done. These people are government officials.
Brother Tyler,
They don't
They're
own
not
government
private.
cars.
man. Yeah,
After
man.
hours of working, that car is packed.
Look,
Yes.
look. Let's go back to Charles Taylor Town. We have Representative 1
It
to
gotta
Representative
stop. It has to stop.
72, right? After 5 o'clock, the representative car is packed. You use your private car. Durham, North Carolina, the mayor uses the car that the city gave him. That's an official car. If he out of work, that car don't be parking in front of your house. He using his own private car.
Mother Liberia,
So
a country that has like less
let
than-
me let me
less than
learn now.
3 million people.
Let me
You
learn.
expect
Almost
the
6 million
country
people.
to provide vehicle for all the lawmakers to purchase? Come on, brother Tyler.
Yeah, I mean,
Your
is
pay-
that right?
You make $15,000.
What make it all right?
Is that right?
No,
they make
it's not-
$15,000.
it's
You
not a
wanna tell me
country
they
right to
cannot
buy your
purchase
car?
a vehicle?
Name
So
me
if,
one
if he says it's all right, then
Come on, man.
why won't Joel if he didn't purchase your car for him?
Look,
Look,
All right.
look.
Let
This
me-
why I say the Constitution need to be
Let
rewritten.
me ask a
Right?
question, right?
No, let me finish.
Let
I wasn't finished when
Let-
Kevin
let you finish.
interrupted.
30 seconds, 30
Right?
seconds.
The Constitution need to be rewritten. We need to revisit it, right? For the lawmakers, for the government buying their car, that's part of the work.
No.
Constitutionally, you got to provide them vehicle.
And that's why we said it has to change.
And you know,
So
now
let's not-
because of what you say, because of what you say, this is why the men
All
they
right,
giving them the
let's stay
cash
on
and they
track,
can
right?
go buy
Yeah.
whatever
Let me-
car.
Let's stay on track.
Let me
Joe,
just-
Joe,
the
you
question-
come on.
the-
One
the
second.
question you asked
Let's stay
was,
on track, right? The question was,
the hospital.
why are these guys using
This what
the
I was saying.
hospitals, and we're going back to car. My thing here is, right, if the hospital is good for, again, my water to use as a poor woman,
It should be
she
Can
and
I-
her children will use it, right? It's befitting for them to use, right? You as a lawmaker, the reason why, so you see that's why I say voters education is necessary. The reason why we vote these guys into office is to come and change certain things that's going on wrong. So let's assume the hospital is dilapidated, it's not up to standard. But when you come in, the same issues that the people are fighting they're struggling with, you are expected to come in and make it better for them. But you come in and leave them in that situation. Now you're a big boss. You are flying overseas. I'm coming. I want to go to Brazil.
Yeah,
No, I didn't finish.
No,
I
brother.
didn't finish.
Sergeant,
when I
we
was
have to
interrupted.
have at
I was
least-
let me
talking.
let me
Let's
comment.
exhaust the
Let me
topic.
comment on that real
Yeah,
quick.
Nah,
This,
I'll come out of you.
this is
Go
what I
ahead.
was saying to that, right?
Yeah.
If these guys are being elected and they neglect their own national hospital, this is what I would say. It's like you renting a house to somebody that you know you cannot live in, but you take a rent from them. So it's not good for you to live in, but they should live in there.
Yeah.
So you're using the people and abusing them. I would say this is using, stealing, being roguish, and I think these guys need to be held accountable because those money they're using to go abroad, those are allowances of healthcare benefit they're getting to go outside the country for healthcare treatment.
Yeah.
It's not their own salary they're using. You know, I would say it's like you degrading your country, healthcare system, and promoting others. Now the money will be going into JFK or into maybe one of the local hospitals. Now you're taking that money and giving it to outside country.
Thank you.
But then you come back and then you want the same country that you degraded, not to pay you.
Take
I'll
it.
just say that this service to this country, you're serving. You need to follow everything. Even all those lawmakers, the children need to go to school like bro,
Thank
high
you.
school and colleges. You
Thank
know.
you. Uh, so thank you for staying to the topic, guys. Time we are winding down time, so let's just answer our questions at least in 1 minute. Yeah, in
Okay.
1 minute. I'll come back to you shortly. Let Dr. Wallo speak on this whole hospital. These guys that are being elected
You okay?
and they are mismanaging. Dr. Wallo, we ask you to come and be our representative, senator. As soon as you sit in the office, you start flying abroad for medical treatment. What's going on?
Um, let me let me just give a little rhetorical question. If you have your kids and your kids have friends and your kids and their friends came over to your house and you gave them something to drink that would poison them, right? If you did that, how would people consider you to be? You wicked,
Uh,
or you
a
sick,
wicked man,
or
a
something
murderer.
psychological is going on with you, right? People might describe it so many ways, but that's not a normal behavior. Okay. Now look at what is going on in Liberia. Your citizens need hospitals because they will get sick. Your citizens need jobs because they're supposed to survive, provide for their families. Your citizens need to be educated because they will one day take over the leadership of the country. Your citizens need infrastructure development because it will help them to give them sophistication. Your citizens need roads. They need all of these things, right? And the money that's supposed to be used for that, you are taking that money and spending it on yourself. Okay. You criticize other people for it. Now you come there, and what you criticize, you have become exactly that.
And
Gentlemen, one second, Pastor Kuruma. How will you describe that?
yeah,
It's not mental, it's not psychological, it's not people being sick. You take all of these resources from your country, but you expect your country to be better. You expect the roads to be better. You expect the hospitals to be better. You expect XYZ to be better. What is that? How can normal people think that way? That's not a normal way of thinking. Pastor Kraman, let me tell you something. When when people don't have anything to offer, what they do is they suppress people.
yeah.
Okay, our people are very poor. They have no option. So people seize power and what? And effectuate the same thing they criticize.
Abuse power.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let
they
me.
use their position of power, they use their position of influence to continue the marginalization of the population. That's not a normal way of thinking.
Can you
Sound
imagine?
people, rational people, civil people don't think that way. Because when you better your community, it's going to better. It's like one time President Clinton, the one American president, President Clinton said that politics can be an amazing enterprise that advances the public good, but people use it,
Thank you.
right, to effectuate suffering on their people. Is that a normal way of thinking? I know you are talking about wasteful spending, but I'm just focused on the
Thank you, Dr.
fundamental,
Waller. Thank you.
right, that we have in our country. Because regardless of who become president tomorrow, if these things are not handled, if we don't resolve this issue, we'll revert right back to the same place. We criticize Georgia, we criticize Eden, we criticize Tira, we criticize Do. Now Bwaka. You think
Thank you, Dr.
what
Waller.
we criticize Georgia for Bwakatan is worse
Let's move
now.
on. Let's move on,
Yeah,
Dr.
but,
Waller.
but what I'm saying, it's worse, right? It's worse now, and it's not. It's not even 2 years yet, right? He just in 2 years. We have not even completed 2 years yet. It's worse. Okay? Bring another Liberians there. Take Bwaka for the bring another Liberians. We come back right
for
here and say exactly the same thing. We are
let me
sick.
bring in
We
one
need
of
we need healing. We need healing from within. Healing from
let me
within. Since Ellen Johnson said our education system was a mess,
Dr. Malone,
what have we done towards it? We
let me
need
bring in
healing, man.
I mean,
let me bring in brother yeah, one of our new one of our brother who was backstage. He's in dying need to come and chip in. Brother Sam, welcome to the topic. Welcome to the Action Required Media podcast. We have less than 15 minutes to be on. My light situation is going down, so please let's try to answer the question short, and so that because I don't want nighttime to can't catch us now. But again, welcome. You've been hearing all of what we've been discussing, from the wasteful spending to if that wheelbarrow I will draw, I will ride. Let me ride wheelbarrow. What's your intake? I know this your government, so go ahead, brother.
Thank you very much. It is always good to be here. Unfortunately, I had to come on late today, and people are allowed to express false opinions, um, misleading opinions. But anyway, I agree. This is our government, so I'm a Liberian, so automatically the government is mine. I'm not gonna shy away from that. I'll start from the last issue that you guys were discussing, and that's on the issue of the
wasteful spending.
wasteful spending
Yeah.
and making reference to people, traveling abroad for medical and stuff like that. Jesse, let's put it into context. Who are those that go to the JFK and the Redemption Hospital? These are the people that I need. These are the people that don't have it in the Liberian way. So we expect our leader to set an example, to lead by the example, and that is to invest into our healthcare sector in a way that they can be able to seek. Nobody's stopping anybody from going abroad for treatment. If there is something that beyond the hospital's control in Liberia, you can go abroad. But if you want to check your teeth, you want to check your eye, you're traveling to Ghana, you're traveling to Nigeria on taxpayer money, that is unacceptable. It was unacceptable yesterday, and it's unacceptable today. It is not about whose government is.
I'm proud of you.
It's about the Liberian people. I think for too long, the Liberian people have been used, and our leader need to be accountable
Thank you.
in a sense that they must invest in our health sectors. Our doctors must be trained. I tell you, doctors are still crying for the pay. They're still going on strike. In this day and age, doctors should be one of the most important civil servants, should be one of the most important employees in government. Why are they still on strike to get a pay? And the
Don't
pay
forget
is actually
teachers.
little or nothing.
Don't forget teachers too. Teachers.
So I think the government need to, sometimes we need to stop the guys from going abroad. We know that the sick would stop them from going abroad.
And
That's why I
hey,
want to tell people that abroad need a more radical approach.
thank you.
We need to start putting our feet down.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. So let me take over the show, right? And usually in the past, I usually engage with our viewers, read their comments. But when you take too long to answer the question, it takes away from me interacting. That's why we want to do, let's interact with the viewers as well, and some of them may have their own points they may want to make. So I think let's try to just shut in our answers, and I don't want to keep you guys on time, but you guys are giving me no option. But anyway, we're about to close the show, right? I want us to close the show with this, and if I'm wrong, I want you all to tell me. And if CEO can come in somewhere along the line, I will leave my seat. Yeah, we have an ex-president in George Weah who's constantly, and this is the last topic for the night, right? who is constantly crying foul of disrespect. He's constantly crying foul of disrespect. And Brother Sam, you start a talking point on this. He willingly gave out power, right? You won by less than 70%.
Get them less than 1% is 17.
He's constantly crying foul of disrespect. Whether if it is him being disrespected by using the terminal that he furnished, or whether it's you trying to take away his security, or whether it's whatever it is.
A mosquito brain.
These are recipe for disaster, right? And Brother Sam, when the current president in JMB was a civilian, he was highly respected by the former president. What's the change? And that's why when people say Joseph Boakai is not in control, President Boakai is not in control, to some extent you want to believe it. I personally wouldn't think that President Boakai would look at George Weah as a son and respect him. But he's not moving, and the former president is almost crying. Like, and this guy, whether you agree with me or not, this guy control the masses, the volume of youth in Liberia. This guy control, but yet he's being restrained because for the peace. I want you to speak into that for me.
Jesse,
What's happening? What's this disrespect coming from?
I will answer that question, but before I answer that question, it brings me back to the initial discussion that you guys had about ECOWAS coming to the country because of complaints.
Right.
Let me just go back and touch a little bit on that.
Go ahead.
It doesn't mean that when somebody comes into your home to negotiate a problem or to find a solution, it doesn't mean you are irresponsible.
Yeah.
The job of ECOWAS is to intervene, is to ensure that the sub-region is peaceful. So ECOWAS needs to work. ECOWAS going to Liberia because of misunderstanding between whether it's the legislature or the executive, the past president and the current president. I don't think that should be used as a yardstick to determine a government being irresponsible. So I just wanted to correct Tatos on that point.
You can correct me on that. The legislature showed that they were irresponsible when ECOWAS went there.
It doesn't mean
No, they showed that they were irresponsible. Now you need to check what irresponsibility
if there's
is.
no issue, then ECOWAS will not work.
What are you talking
So
about?
ECOWAS needs to do the job.
Go ahead.
So now, let's move on to the discussion about President we are being disrespected. I differ with that. Jesse, you've been in leadership before.
Yeah.
I've been in leadership before, whether it's from a lower level, but we know the immunities these things come with. Leadership comes with a whole lot of immunities. And some people, when they have been separated from the power or from the leadership, it takes them time to get over it. It takes them time to get into that surveillance position. So I think it's that syndrome that President Weah is suffering from. President Weah have not realized that he's no longer the president.
Oh God.
It's been speculated that President Weah is somebody who feels entitled. Even before he became president, he's an entitled person.
Brother, I hate
This is the man.
Are you kidding me?
This is the man who they said has Liberia in his heart.
Are you kidding me?
That what made the assistant minister to call the man of mosquito brain?
Gentlemen, let me land.
No,
guys,
you can't learn
you
because
guys are propounding our
you trying to accuse
No,
the former
let me
president
land.
of stuff that.
let me
No.
land.
How would a man land on it? That man he's lying blatantly
Let me land.
on
I'm not lying.
on
It's
media.
fine. It's fine.
What facts?
It's fine.
It's facts that
President-
President Weah called Joe Boakai names,
President
or
Weah.
that Joe Boakai
Hold on.
cabinet calling him names.
Hold on.
That President
Weah-
President Weah stopped Joe Boakai from using the
So I
executive.
will come to the
Sonny.
terminal issue.
It's
Okay, so
President
come to the
Boakai.
terminal issue.
Come on,
But
man.
I'm just
My man,
I'm
don't do that thing.
let me lay my
Tell us
business.
something.
Like I said, it's tough for some people to realize that they
You're
are
not
no
in power
longer
again.
in a position that they
Okay.
occupied in the past. And I think that's one of the
But
problems.
what is it that the man
that
showing
exists
I
right
feel
now.
that he's not he's
Now-
still
Now,
Okay,
when
let me-
President
in the
Weah,
power.
when President Weah was assigned EPS, he requested certain amount.
My man,
that
you're
was
the one
beyond the
that you're the one that confusing Joe
requested
Boakai
certain
here.
amount.
You see the type of thing you say
He
right now
wanted-
that what Joe Boakai listening to. I wonder if Joe Baka said, is he not? I
Tatos,
hope Joe
can I-
Baka is not on the
can I
hostage.
land?
Though.
Tato,
Joe
you can't
Baka got to
discuss
be
the
on the
issue-
hostage from the
You
man.
can't discuss the issue with
From the
sentiment.
man.
Hold on,
You have to
Tadas.
be real. You have to be factual. You
Oh, man.
cannot discuss the issue with sentiments.
But,
Man,
So
it's
let
Joe-
me just land.
I want you to land
So
on
with the EPS,
not
President Weah was trying to detect the numbers he wanted, the kind of people he wanted. It's not his job.
okay.
The job of the EPS was to provide the former president with detail.
We still kept
And-
the ones that we
and
met there. We didn't
Weah-
let them go.
President Weah
We kept
did
them
not
there.
want
We didn't
certain
let them
people
go.
in his
We're going
cycle.
to crossfire for 2 minutes.
President
Hold on.
Weah wanted a number that the EPS could not provide. Then you call that disrespect?
Okay.
That is
Now
not
what is
disrespect.
it?
Let's move on to the
Baka got
airport.
more than what Joe
Let's
Weah
move
had.
on to the
Tadas,
airport.
hold on. Tadas, hold
There
on.
are three courtesy areas at the airport. They have the VIP terminal.
The VVIP.
They have the executive terminal, which was built by President Weah for as the executive, primarily for the president. And they have the regular terminal where when you and myself go, the place will pass. There's still the VIP terminal. So when President Weah, the first time when he came from out of the country, I think he was going out, one of their stand to be corrected.
You're coming.
And that place was under renovation according to the press secretary.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they gave him some option. Bro, you can't fly with news
My
just
man,
because
what you mean?
Okay.
That it was still
No,
under
just
construction
because you want to
when
excite
the
people,
man
you
finished the
cannot
thing.
fly with news.
My man, why would say
You
that and let the
cannot.
man be telling
Yeah,
stories
so
to
you
us
are
like
giving
this?
misinformation.
What you mean?
You are giving misinformation.
The place was completed, then you
You
come
are
and
hearing
sit down here
a whole
and
lot
come
of fallacy when I was sitting over there.
and come and
And now
tell
you
us
wanna
stories
say
like
why?
this.
That's
What?
all right. That's
Eh?
all right. Keep it,
Man,
keep it, keep
come
it.
on, man.
Brother Sam,
You- so that's it.
I want
don't
Brother
believe
Kevin.
that President Weah was being disrespectful. I think he
Oh,
still
so when they
feels
call him
entitled to the
mosquito brain,
president.
it's not
Okay.
disrespect?
He has
That's
not
his opinion.
understand
Let him say
that
it and
he's
then
no
we'll go
longer the
from there.
president, and certain immunity he cannot have.
So reality
You
hasn't
must
kicked in yet
understand
for
that.
President Weah, right?
President Weah still remain a former president.
Okay.
And he got the immunity of the former president.
But-
Okay.
Let him enjoy that.
But I
Kevin
tell
is
you
no
what.
longer the president
I
of
tell you
Ghana.
what.
We must be
No,
real.
Hold on,
Kevin,
hold
you
on.
don't want nobody to interrupt you.
I tell you what. When the Supreme Court finished telling us what happened, then you will sit down here and see what
So
will
let Kevin
happen.
come in. Let Kevin
Let
come
the
in.
Labrador people sit down. Let Richard Kuhn and Joe
No,
Baka
no,
jump
you're
on and
different.
start doing something.
The
Oh,
British
yeah,
cool thing got nothing to do with
guys,
President
I
Weah.
will pay my
let's-
own
let's-
money.
you
We
go
go
with
to
different
Labrador.
place.
Brother Kevin is about to speak.
Yeah, Kevin,
Let-
go
let-
ahead.
let Cohen
You
have
go into
respect.
to Richard Kuhn stuff.
Brother Kevin.
Richard Kuhn stuff is a whole
Brother
different
Kevin.
thing.
Brother Taylor,
The same
right?
question, right?
Brother
Hey,
Taylor,
listen.
You know, let's say don't pay back, right? But I think what you've been doing wasn't right. You know, you are not like someone to keep interrupting you. While
Kevin, you're very low from my end here.
So I think due to that, I think you need to apologize to your panelists, for like being very, disruptive because he had a point to make.
How they behave with
when
the
you
Sakamo
talking,
tree.
right? And if I keep interrupting you, right? I don't think you're like that, right? I don't think so.
Oh, I should apologize for the man telling story on my president.
No,
That's
what
all right.
I'm saying
Kevin,
is-
Kevin,
that's
answer the
what I'm
question.
saying.
Samo, I
First of all,
apologize.
there you go. There you go.
I
Crossfire.
apologize. I
Crossfire.
apologize.
President Weah was our president.
Now-
not
It's
just
all
our
right.
president.
Kevin
Now-
is on the.
I think
I spoke on disrespect.
I agree with brother Sam,
I
right?
respect that.
I do agree.
I
with
expected
him.
that.
Because here's the thing, right? Let's come back to the United States, right?
Uh-huh.
Former President Joe Biden, right? He doesn't have privilege to ride a presidential jet, right? Air Force One. He doesn't have that. He does not have that.
No, yeah, right now
Okay,
he don't.
exactly. So everything comes with like immunity. As a president, you are covered. As an ex-president or former president, you have yours as well. Understand, accept your role. Learn to accept your role. You know what I'm saying? The matter of fact, like executive suite, VIP suite, whatsoever. If it's meant for current executive, that's for current executive. You build that, right? Go use the VIP lounge, and then whatever security measure or protocol that you need, they can provide that for you. In the United States, whenever a president leaves office, he has his own security detail. He will not dictate to whoever to say, I need X, Y, Z, and third. No.
The man said
It's a
entitled to
system.
security
It
clearance.
is a system that has been put in place for those things. So President Weah needs to understand. Look, he's a former president, and he got to respect the law, and he got to obey the law,
Okay.
and that's all I have to
Thank
say.
you.
Okay.
I want Dr. Wallo to chime in. Titus, you spoke on this issue already?
No.
Okay,
no.
go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Look,
ahead.
gentlemen, your band, I don't even know the English language I should borrow, but your band very much unfair to President Weah. First of all, President Weah didn't even complain about he using the main terminal for the locals, for you and me, because the man used that terminal. He even told his security and people, "Oh, you don't bother. I will use the main place." He didn't complain, but
Good
it
on the
is
calm, yeah.
it is up to we the citizen. We feel. And it's our constitutional right. If our ex-president have been disrespected, it's our constitutional right to stand up and talk. When Joe Barker was VP, for Christ's sake, this man paid his hospital bill. He has security. I challenge you to rebunk that, right?
The government pay also the bill.
Oh, government
Why you like to give everything to President
but
Weah?
who was the leader of the country? Is that the man?
government pay hospital
The
bill.
man have to sign it. The man have to sign it.
That's what.
The man have to sign it. Joe Barker was
So that-
getting paid.
That one of the achievement
Hey,
there.
no. Joe Barker was getting paid. Had Joel Howard Taylor getting paid since Joe Barker got in power?
Yeah.
What you talking about?
Yeah, she gets
Teacher
paid.
then can get paid. That VP will get paid.
Anyway, let Dr. Wallo chime in here. A minute, 30 seconds so that we can do our closing.
Yeah, I will try to stay within the 30 seconds.
1 minute,
So
30 seconds.
okay.
30 seconds,
So
30
before
seconds.
we actually
I need to tap into Dr. Wallo blessing you so I can get that same amount of time.
all right,
Wallo, you
I'll
protected.
reserve 30 seconds for you.
You protect it, Rary. Don't matter, man.
Well, but what I was going to say is that before we used to have a debate on, we were looking forward to see the time that we will have ex-Liberian presidents, because we were killing all of our presidents. But I'm happy that we are not talking about us killing presidents. We are talking about disrespecting ex-presidents. I don't think any ex-president deserves to be disrespected, okay, regardless of what party they are from. When you have served your country in a capacity, the country owe it to you to respect you in every form and faction. And for ministers to be insulting former President Weah, I don't think it should be encouraged. But besides that, it's very uncultured. Liberians don't behave like that. We were not trained like that. We were not brought up like that. To talk to people that are in authority. We are very decent people. We respect authority. That's why we follow our leaders. Okay. So similar thing was done to President Boakai when he left the vice presidency. People were talking about his health, and we all criticize that, right? We shouldn't talk down on our presidents, because when we do that, we are not. You see, we are not just doing it to that individual. We are doing it to the country. So all former presidents should be respected.
I mean, we understand that,
Thank you.
Pastor. But what I'm saying is, he is not entitled to an executive privilege. He's a former president. We understand.
No,
he
he's
has.
entitled to it.
The man is entitled.
He's entitled to it. That is his.
That is his
That
what?
office. It comes with that office. Those amenities. It comes with the office of a. Yeah.
Serving.
It comes with it,
So
brother.
serving and be served. That's two different things,
What?
right? Serving your nation and being served.
Uh-huh.
That's two different things.
What's your
I want to
point?
believe, right? Former President Weah
Uh-huh.
did not serve Liberia.
That's your
to-
opinion.
That's
your
what I'm saying.
opinion.
In my opinion.
Okay.
So realistically, honestly,
Oh, so that's why it's fair for them to treat him the way. I'm trying to read from
Yes.
you. I'm not
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
But Kevin, that's why we have elections, right? Liberians
I can't
Liberians
believe this thing.
recompense Joshua for the
Really,
work
I
he
can't
did.
really believe this.
We did not approve his work,
I can't believe this.
so
Unity
so
Party,
he
that's a
was
vote
not
for y'all.
he wasn't
And nobody,
re-elected. But that
2029
doesn't
is so.
mean that he needs to be disrespected.
Thank
You
you.
know,
But anyway,
2029
one
too
of my
far.
cameras are dying. One of my cameras are dying. I see the battery. One of my cameras. So guys, let's use this last 7 minutes to wind down.
Let me go first, man.
I don't know if you guys been following the senatorial race for Nimba County, right? I don't know if you've been following.
Prophet keep putting his two finger in his mouth.
All of the batteries are dead. Are we able to capture the entire crew?
Prophet keep putting his two finger in his mouth, opening
Okay.
his jaw.
Okay, let's close the show. I think I'm getting let's do our 30 seconds of closing, and we will go from there. Okay. Uh, 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 Dr. Wallo, please do your 30-second closing. We are having an emergency right now. Dr. Wallo, do your
okay.
closing, and then we in the studio can do our closing.
Thank you, Pastor Kuma, and thank you, gentlemen. Very good
Checking the time.
conversation. Thank you for contributing this time to your country. Let's continue to do this, uh, and let's continue to stay engaged. Liberia is all that we have. We, the young people, we can make it better. When we become better, we can be the alternative voices, but it can only happen when we stay engaged. And I'm praying and looking forward to the time that Liberians from every walk of life can have access to mental health services and can have access to substance abuse treatment because the drug epidemic that is growing on in our country is reaching our is destroying our young people, and I think we need to give that an attention. And if what Prophet Key explained is true about he registering and then he was denied to participate in a elections. um, I don't know why they took his money and then deny him participating. That is wrong. If he's disqualified, I think they should refund his money. That would be my closing. Thank you.
It's non-refundable. Once you register at NEC, it's non-refundable. But brother Sam, do your closing. One of my battery just ran down.
Yeah. Thank you again. It's always good to be here. For these fascinating discussions. I want to say just to touch on the Prophet Key thing. While it is true that we respect the rights of every Liberian to get involved with the election process, it is also important that we understand people must meet certain criteria. There are certain guidelines, there are certain rules and regulations, and people violating and going outside of those codes and conducts must be given the requisite punishment. Prophet Key is a very popular person. Um, it is being established that Prophet Key did not register to um, vote
To run.
during the last voter registration,
Yeah.
and he did presented some um, fake documents to the election commission. How can you present? How can you try to fraud the institution that are responsible for qualifying you? That's wrong. It should not be encouraged in our society today. It should not be encouraged tomorrow. So, while we want Prophet Key to partake um, in the process, it is important to acknowledge that Prophet Key did not meet the criteria. Prophet Key was a fraud. Prophet Key tried to manipulate the system, which was wrong. I think he should be investigated for that. And I completely support the National Election Commission for coming out with rejecting his application. So the election process can go on, peacefully. We shouldn't mind all of the noise. Thank you again for hosting us today on this podcast. We want to say thanks to our CEO Joseph for always being behind the camera. We say thanks to our nephew there too, who's also trying to direct things in the background. Gentlemen, it was nice being here. I look forward to meeting you guys next week again.
Kevin.
Sam, thank you for pointing that out. I didn't have those information, but if it is just on whether Prophet Key voted or not, that's not a reason to disqualify him. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. I
that's
think he
that's
just
not a reason
presented
to
he
disqualify. Maybe
presented
there might be
false
some, there might
documents.
be other things,
He
but
presented
because he
false
did not vote
documents.
in the election, that's not a reason to disqualify
No,
anybody
that's
from
not a reason. He
from
presented
running.
false documents. He
Oh, okay.
presented. Yeah, he claimed that he registered.
All
Okay.
right.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to register for him to
Yeah, he doesn't.
participate
But
in the election. That's what I'm saying.
then admit that you did not register. Admit that you did not register. But you can't come and tell the body who's responsible for qualifying that you register and present a fake card to them. At the
That
end of
was
the day,
just
when
a
they check
witch
the
hunt,
records, you
man.
did not register. That's being unfair to the system, Reverend.
Got,
Kevin, go ahead.
Okay.
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 Thanks everyone. Thanks for the time. I look forward to having another wonderful conversation next week. Um, as for Profiki, I would not like to give Profiki any credence. Because at the end of the day, Liberia need a visionary leader. You know, so I'm not going to like speak on Profiki, knowing the fact that he's not someone that I'm looking forward to him even becoming another senator. So I'm not gonna go that far. As it stands, always think Liberia, pray Liberia, envision Liberia, love Liberia, and then by God's waiting, Liberia gonna move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Titus.
okay. Thanks for hosting us, and the show was a good show, and the discussion was okay. And let me talk about Prophet Key. You don't have to vote in the previous election to still be eligible to register because this is an election time. You know, so if the man presented his credential that he registered, so what are some of the things that the election commission saw that make the his voter ID illegitimate? We got to question that. But however, I'm not a Prophet Key fan, and I even against he going to the legislature because if something don't go his way, what will he do? He will claim on the table and start causing my cause, But that's not it. But anyway, gentlemen,
Cause I may come from.
our Liberian people are talking to you. We need a mental development and voter education. I'm going to open a GoFunding where we can go to Liberia and educate our people. Every constituencies that people running to be representative, we will go there and tell the people, ask your representative why must you vote him or she. Let them let you know why is it that they're better than the next person? What is it that they will bring to you? What kind of things that will benefit your children, not even you? Because the generation in Liberia right now, their time passed. So we're looking at the future. Whatever laws that will be put in place now is there to benefit our future generation. So we need to start this, people. There's a way we in the diaspora can start educating our people back home. Thank you.
Thank you to all of my panelists. I want to say big thanks to our CEO and Brother Joseph, and also our co-producer, Brother Leo. I want to also thank our fans for watching and sharing the show. We only come on this platform because we want better for Liberia. We want better for Liberia. That's why we spend countless hours and finance funds to make sure that we are on the airways. If I should put my camera around just to make sure this is live, you will see that there's quite an investment that we've made to make sure we are coming out here to let you all know that Liberia means we mean well for Liberia. With that said, beginning next week, I started off on every Sunday coming in and answering some religious questions, and some of my fans, or followers are requesting that I'm going to engage Dr. Wallow. I don't know if he's watching, but Dr. Wallow, I'll be calling on you so that we can start back sometime next week early so that we can start answering these questions and just providing insight to some of the questions that these people are having when it comes to the Bible. With that said, I want to say thank you. Again, we are here on every Sunday at 5 o'clock. If they need be, then we go to 6 o'clock. But please stay tuned as we are always coming to you to bring you the happenings of Liberia. Again, I want to say big thanks to our producing team, Brother Leo, Brother Joe CO. Happy Sunday, guys. See you all next